What is up, guys? It is the Turtle Girl. Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. Today I am super duper pumped because we are setting up the Leopard Gecko tank. And so I guess I just thought I'd show you guys how I'm putting it together. Now, the reason I'm putting this together on camera is so that you guys who have owned Leopard Geckos can go in the comments and let me know what I should change because this is going to be my first time ever owning a Leopard Gecko, or even like a lizard for that matter. So I want your guys' feedback. And so let's just get into putting this tank together. Alright, so first things first, obviously we have the tank. This is just a standard 20-gallon long tank, 30 inches by 12 inches by 12 inches. It's a common size I've read used for leopard geckos, and so this should be just fine for our gecko even as he gets bigger. So 20-gallon long, and now we've got to put in our heating element. We're just using an under tank heater as well as our thermostat. So let's get these installed. Alright, so you can see here we have our heat mat. This is going to fit about a third of the size of the tank, but it's going to go on the bottom, so we got to flip this tank over. Alright, so I just cleaned off the bottom of the tank so there will be a nice clean surface for the heat pad to stick on. Now, I got the size that was made for 30 to 40 gallon tanks, and I know that sounds weird because this is actually a 20-gallon tank, but because this is a 20 long, there's more surface area at the bottom, and you can see that this only covers like almost less than a third of the tank, so I am just going to stick it on like this, and hopefully that will heat the tank up okay. You can see that it's still covering less than half of the bottom of the tank, so I'm thinking we should be good there, although we should probably make it so that the cord sticks out on this side, am I right? Alright, so we will probably stick it right here. This is just so satisfying. I love doing this. You just like peel it off and it's just sticky. And it's not focusing on me again. Hello. Hello. Okay, there we go. And so now that we have unstuck the sticker from the bottom, unstuck the sticker, we're going to apply this at the bottom of the tank. And I'm going to make sure that the cord is on the side where it will easily exit the tank. Okay, so we're just going to put this right here and smooth it out. Alright, so heat mat is on. The thermostat part will come in later, so we will plug this in later. But there we have the heat mat, and now let's flip it over and put everything inside of it. Alright, so here we've got the tank. Now we have to put in substrate. So I'm sure that any of you who have ever owned a leopard gecko, or honestly have ever owned an animal, knows that substrate can always be a very big debate, and especially with leopard geckos, substrate is highly debated. So what I decided to go with for this gecko, which will be my first gecko, is just vinyl. So you can see I picked up some vinyl flooring and I just cut it to the size of the enclosure. Now, the reason I decided to use this instead of like Eco Earth or something is that because although I did like the look of Eco Earth in other people's tanks, I just wanted to be very careful. This is going to be my first gecko, and so I didn't want to make any mistakes or really take any risks that I don't really have to. Plus, I've heard that there's other issues with Eco Earth, like the muscles. Like, imagine when you're walking on a beach on the sand or on any loose substrate, eventually your joints can get weak because you just don't have enough support on the ground. And so I've heard things like that comes out of Eco Earth. There's a risk there, or risks of respiratory stuff because of them breathing it. And so I just decided to play it on the safe side and just use vinyl. Now, what's great about this is that usually you can actually go to your local carpet store and just pick up remnants potentially for free. Like, I got this for free because, you know, when you usually buy flooring, you'll have to buy a huge section of it, and then you're just going to cut out a tiny section for your tank. So go check your local carpet store, see if they'll give you just some remnants of vinyl for you to use. And so this is also like non-adhesive vinyl, so there won't be any leaching chemicals or anything, and this should be totally safe. And so I've already cut this to the size of the tank. We will just stick this inside. And so I actually really like how the vinyl looks. It's actually slightly textured. It's not totally smooth, so the gecko will still be able to get a grip. Plus, it just kind of looks like rocks, so that's great. I also have another piece of vinyl that I got that we'll be using for the background. Alright, so now we are on to the hides. So for hides, I just pretty much did it basic here. We have 3 hides. So we have our cool hide, our warm hide, and our humid hide. So for our warm hide, what we'll be putting on the warm side is we just have a standard lizard cave made by Exo. By the way, none of this stuff is sponsored. I paid for all this with my own money, but this is just a standard lizard hide that I will be using, and this will go on the hot side. You can see that this is a bottomless hide so that the heat will be able to come directly up through the bottom of the tank, and the gecko will be able to be warmer here. So this is going to go over here. And then we have our cool hide. Now this is actually just a piece of half log that I found. This has been boiled and sanitized. I collected this in the wild. But I've sanded it down so that it will not pose any hazard to the gecko. And this is just natural wood, so this is gonna go on the cool side, maybe somewhere over here, I guess. And they'll be able to hide under there. And then for my humid hide, I just decided to go with something simple. So what I decided to do was just a glass jar that I've filled with some eco earth, so I can spray this down, and this can be the gecko's humid hide. This was only like $1 at the dollar store, so if you need a cheap hide idea, glass jar for your humid hide. And this will also go kind of in the cool side, maybe in this corner. Now because that is glass, I wanted the gecko to feel more secure, so let's start moving into decorations. And so for the humid hide, I will be putting around some fake leaves around that humid hide, so that the gecko can kind of feel a bit more secure. We also have some other cute decorations that I got because, I mean, the tank looks pretty bare, right? So we've got this adorable little planter that I found on Amazon, and I put a fake succulent in it, and I bought like a huge pack of succulents. They were like less than $1 each. You can also buy them at Dollar Tree, I think. They seasonally have fake succulents that you can buy for $1, so that's a cute, cheap decoration idea. And I am trying to grow pothos in here, so I'm not sure how well that'll work, but we'll see if we can grow pothos. There is eco earth in there that the pothos is being planted in. I mean, pothos is pretty hardy, so I'd imagine that it will be okay, but we'll see if this plant will grow. But I really like this planter. It's super cute. And then I have another similar planter, which I am going to fill with some more fake succulents. So I love succulents, but I don't think I'd be able to keep them alive in a gecko tank. So I just went with just a bunch of fake ones. Aren't those cute? You can see if it will focus on it. So a bunch of fake succulents. These are super cute. I'm going to be putting them inside here, and we'll see how that looks. So here is the cute little succulents things that I put inside the little planter. I think this is really cute. I might have to hot glue them because they don't like stay in very well. But this is really cute, and this is now gonna go into the tank. And of course, we just have a humble little water bowl that's gonna be going in here as well. And then we have, of course, just a little temperature gauge and humidity gauge, which is on here. And of course, I almost forgot, we have the background. We just have another sheet of vinyl, which is super cool. Like, I don't know if you can tell on camera, but it actually is like really textured. But I don't know how I'm gonna stick this in there because, like, I don't know if I could use like double stick tape. I don't know if I want to use hot glue because I don't know how well that would stay, but I mean, I think it actually looks pretty cool. Alright, so now I'm trying to figure out how I should stick this thing to the back. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and try using super glue because I asked y'all on Instagram, but a lot of you said silicone, but I don't have silicone on hand, and I don't really want to go out and buy it. So I think I might use super glue, but you guys are very indecisive. Like, it's like almost 50-50 split. It's been going back and forth between it's fine and don't do it. And there's like experienced people, it seems, on both sides. So I'm just gonna go for it, and this might be the dumbest thing I've ever done, and I might have to use a lot of razor blade scraping to get this background off, but we're just gonna try it. So we're gonna have to take all this stuff out because we don't want to mess anything up. Look at that. I just like set the tank up and now I'm taking it apart again. But this is so much easier than a fish tank because there's no water that you have to deal with. You literally can just set it up and tear it down in 5 minutes. So should I do it on the back of this first or should I put it on the tank? And we're just gonna, oh shoot, that was really bad. That's not how you open super glue. Okay, we'll just put a tiny bit here at the top. You know, I probably should have done this side. This is facing down. There we go. I am so good at this. Well, it actually seems to be sticking quite well, so that's good. I'm obviously a genius. Obviously. Alright, so let me go ahead and put this tank back. It's been about 10 minutes. It actually looks like it stuck pretty good. You can see on the back how this looks. But there we have it. Actually looks pretty good if I do say so myself. Also, sorry if it's not focusing well, but there's that. Now let's put everything back in and set up this tank again. I mean, I think it actually looks pretty cool. So let me get you guys a closer look at this. So this is how the tank is looking right now. Pretty simple. I do like that there's a little bit of greenery in there, but let's go get it up into the shelf where it's gonna go, which is right up there. And we'll plug in the thermostat and the heater and just see how this all comes together. Now I do have a lid for this tank, I just haven't put it on yet. It's just like right over there. There's the lid. So we'll put that on in just a second, but it doesn't look too bad. Alright, so now that the tank is in there, let's get our thermostat out and plug in the heater and double check that everything will work properly. So what we're using is just this thermostat that I found on Amazon. It's called the VivoSun or VivoSun, however you want to pronounce that. Usually people recommend the Jumpstart, but that one was like at least I think double the price of this one. And so I decided to try this one out, and hopefully it'll work. It had some really great reviews, so we'll check this out and see how it works. Alright, we're gonna read our instructions first. Alright, so now we have the thermostat is finally set up over here. You can see that it is starting to heat up, if it'll focus for me. And the probe is right over here, which is the heat mat is just right in this area. And so I just thought we could quickly go over the tank one more time before we end this video. So first of all, of course, substrate. We've got vinyl flooring, vinyl on the background. I did super glue it, and that actually worked. And because the tank is gonna air out a couple days before we actually put a gecko in here, I don't think that'll be a problem. And then of course we have all our hides, so moist hide, cool hide, hot hide. We've got decorations, we've got a temperature gauge as well as a hydrometer 2-in-1, and that's for the humidity and the temperature. And then we've got a water bowl, and so that's it for the tank. You can see that I actually did not end up putting a lid on this tank, and that's because although there's like clearance between this top of the tank and the bottom of the next shelf, there's like a lip here, and so the clearance right here is not that good, and so I didn't want to have too tight of a fit, and so I just opted against having a lid. And so I don't think it'll be a problem because it's a terrestrial gecko. I don't think it should be able to escape, and so we're gonna just be without a lid unless the entire internet screams at me and is like, that gecko's gonna escape if you don't have a lid. So yeah, I think that we're fine for now. Oh, my lights just turned off over there. That's too bad. So we're not gonna have a lid, and also for lighting, I decided that we're just gonna use ambient room light because leopard geckos are crepuscular anyways, and so I figured that the lighting from the room would be enough for them to set the day-night cycle, and I didn't want to bug it too much by having like a light that was just over it constantly beating down during the day. And I just figured that the ambient room light would be enough. And so that is the tank. So that is today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to drop a thumbs up down below. And don't forget to comment your suggestions or anything. If you've had experience with leopard gecko, let me know what you think of this tank, because this is my first time setting up a tank for a leopard gecko or a lizard. So I need your guys' suggestions, or if you have anything you'd like to tell me, please put those in the comments below. I will definitely be reading those. The expo when I'm planning to get the lizard is on Sunday, so that's in 2 days from the time you're seeing this video. So I am so stoked. I will be vlogging that experience and when I get the gecko and all that, so you can keep an eye out for that video, so make sure you ring the notification bell if you haven't already. But most of the updates, like real time, will be on my Instagram. So make sure you follow me on Instagram @theturtlegirl. And I think that's it for today. So thank you guys so much, and I'll see you next Friday, hopefully with a leopard gecko. Have a totally awesome day. Bye-bye.